All right. Okay, so I'll just put it here. Boss said he's attending family dinner or something.
Mhm.
Okay, so just in case the chat somebody arrived, just let me know. All right.
Cool.
Anyway, let me see what I can do with the volume. Yeah, for the headphone amplifier. So now I can actually hear clearer. Okay, so that's very funny. General actually told me when I increase the volume on that, my mic actually sound louder. Is my mic too loud?
No, just normal.
Only normal. Okay.
Mm.
All right. So okay. So okay, I think we can straight away start. So you all can see on my screen, I show there's a hammer. Like, have you heard of the phrase "to someone with a hammer, everything looks like a nail"? We heard
Mm,
many times,
yeah.
correct? We heard. Anastasia, heard before? All right. So it's very obvious to me, but that being said, it's very interesting. This week I went with my client to meet one of his customer. Okay. So during this journey, I think I can summarize the whole thing. Like if you guys want to know what's the big message is this person, like my client, he's he has a hammer. So throughout his life, he always throughout his whole not his life, throughout his business, he always sell certain things. He sell what he have, he don't sell what the customer want. And I think this is a lesson we can all take away from. So by the end of today, I hope everybody can really see like we really want to sell what people want to buy or sell ideally what people need, okay, instead of what we can do. So this is the main message. So um, okay, the food thing is actually another one. I'm just going to move everybody up here. Okay, so it's very weird because this whole meeting, this whole like meet the customer, we went in the same car. Actually, he drove, I didn't drive. He drove us there. We entered. We meet the same person in the same meeting room. Um, I almost want to say asking the same questions, but it's actually not asking because I'm asking questions A, he's asking question B. But everybody actually heard all the questions asked. Okay, because it's the same room, we're meeting the same person. We visit the same place, same time, same person, same meeting, same everything. So how is it one person gets very different thing? If let's say after the whole visit, you ask both of us, hey, actually what happened during the trip? You will hear very different things from two-person. Okay, so what I'm sharing on the screen share here is actually what our notes, what we wrote down. Now, this is my mistake. I didn't bring my pen and paper. I didn't bring my notebook, not my laptop. My traditional paper notebook. So I was forced to take notes with my phone. Okay. Now, I actually don't like to do this because when you are somebody is telling you things and you're taking notes with your phone. But too many people, when somebody is speaking, they're actually playing with their phone. How many actually had that kind of experience when you're saying something, other person is actually looking at the phone and maybe touching, playing with
Uh,
the phone. Now, how do you feel when that happens?
just respectful.
So I think
Mhm.
that's same for everybody, right? So what I did was, if let's say this is just a tip here. If let's say worst case situation, you really like forgot the pen and paper, and you are forced to take notes. What I did was actually I wrote things here, and I want to let the person know I'm writing what he's saying. So I actually show my phone and I show the WhatsApp like, am I describing this correctly?
Mhm.
Now I know I'm writing it correctly. I know I'm writing it correctly, but the other person might not know I'm actually writing. The other person might think, oh, it's one of those person playing with the phone while I'm talking. No, 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 no. I want to let you know, I'm actually writing down what you're saying. So actually, like, from time to time, is this accurate? Actually show them, and let's say they mention a certain brand or something like the this brand I never heard of this. So I actually ask for clarification. I move the phone because I'm sitting beside the person. I actually show it like, am I writing this down correctly? So if let's say we are in a closing call on Zoom, what I like to do, this is me, I like to open my PowerPoint and I take notes live on the spot. Now I know some people prefer pen and paper. So if it's pen and paper and you're on Zoom call, you make it very, very obvious to the other person you are taking notes. So you want to position the camera so that they can see you holding the pen. Okay, so these are actually tricks. On Zoom, the best way for me, this is what works for me. I take notes with PowerPoint. I understand not everybody can listen and type at the same time. So if you prefer pen and paper, just make it very obvious for the other person to know that you are writing down what they're saying. So adjust the camera in a way that they can see your hand. They can see you're writing something. Okay, so this is actually our notes. Now, to be fair, the notes are a bit similar here. Okay, so we took the notes and we came back and we discussed actually what I was saying. So these are my notes. Now, these notes are meant to show the customer, like, these are my notes. Like, do you have anything to add? Anything that actually you want to voice out to us, but I didn't write down. Okay, these are the notes that I show. So what's the difference is here are the things I took mental notes, but I didn't write down. Okay, so I'll just go through this. So the whole meeting is very, very strange. We went to the place, they greeted us, they brought us for coffee, and actually a lot of the, like, when you're talking to other people, you want to know how that person likes to be talked to. How can we talk in a way that the other person can understand? So during the initial meetup, I have to like identify, am I talking to a ruby or emerald, sapphire? What is the personality type or the color? Red, green, blue, yellow. What type of people am I talking to? Or what are the, just how they describe things? Are they a very visual person, or like, I get clues from that. Because when you go, the funny thing is actually in the office, I didn't get that much information. But when we're having coffee downstairs, actually I got a lot of information. Because when they enter office, they have to play the role of the boss, they have to play the role of the employee. So sometimes we don't get so much information. But when we're having coffee and we're having lunch, actually I got a lot of information. While the customer drove us to lunch, also I got some information. Oh, so a lot of these things that you see is actually what is discussed during the meeting. Okay, so during the meeting, they did say, oh, they would like to exchange monitors, and we asked, oh, why do you want to exchange the monitors? Oh, because monitor A, uh, it's 23-inch. Monitor B, the second time we got was 24-inch. The size was different. Also, the first type of monitor A, it's very slim. Second type of monitor is very thick. Now, when you hear this, what will you actually hear? Eh? Why the monitor thick or not? Why does it matter? You know, so you have to
Um,
hear like, why do they say this? So when you hear that, what comes to your mind?
well, when I heard it, I think it's like market demand or the supply things
They're using for office use.
or office use.
Yeah,
Maybe
they're not selling it. Yeah.
slimmer screen is more aesthetic.
Okay, yes, it's more aesthetic, but when they say that, what does that tell you about this person?
Uh, he has the taste.
Yes, but he is not buying for himself. He's buying for the employee to use.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I don't think it's a cost issue. I don't think so.
Okay, that's a good information. So number one, these are not people who buy the cheapest thing because
Mm.
they place some importance on aesthetics, nice or not, looks nice or not. The other thing is slim monitor. When other people visit them, it looks better. So they are somebody who care about company image. Okay,
Mm.
so that is something I'm like, okay, these people, from here alone, I know these people are open to spending money when it makes them look good. That is what I heard. Okay, but here he just heard, oh, I need to change the monitor. So it's a very order taker. You will realize a lot of the things. I can give you a summary also. You realize a lot of the notes that he written and bring up to discuss. Once we went back from the customer place, we discussed a lot of the things he's talking about the deliverables. In copywriter terms, what does this mean? We're discussing, how many words we want to write the email, how many call to action we want to have, how many headlines are we going to give you for one email for you to split test. It's very, deliverables. Whereas when I'm listening, I'm actually listening like what are these people trying to accomplish with the thing that I'm doing for them. So it's a different level of listening skill. Okay, so I'll just give another example. So here, the second example, we are talking about headphones. We're talking about headphones. So the customer said he bought Microtel, he bought Logitech, he bought Plantronics. Now, to be honest, I don't know what is Microtel, I don't know what is Plantronics. I know what is Logitech because I'm using Logitech.
Mhm.
Okay, so what I did was, this is where it's okay to ask, well, you buy the Microtel, what model did you buy? Actually, I was supposed to ask what model did you buy and how much did you pay, but the customer straight away told me, oh, I bought model A for 300, 300 bucks. That's what he told me, 300. Now, over here you can buy a headphone for 30. He is buying 10 times higher.
Mhm.
The headphone I'm using, yes, it's expensive, but I bought this when I'm a bit rich, okay? Last time I'm using 50 or 60 headphone. He bought for staff, each headphone is 300. And they have, I think, 50 or 100 stuff.
Mhm.
So if they are willing to spend this on headphones, now what does that tell once again? Actually, it's the same thing. Are willing to pay if you give them a good reason. So we asked like, why you buy so many, number one, and why are you buying this type of price? So he told us it's very important because they want to sound very nice. So actually, I was a bit weird because if you want to sound very nice, you're supposed to buy a nice mic. But
Mhm.
he bought headphones, so I'm like, maybe they want convenience. What? Okay, now this is my fault. I didn't ask further, so I could have brought it up. Maybe you should be looking at getting a headphone. Okay, so but I didn't ask because actually I wanted to know what is his main concern. When somebody buys something a few times, that tells you something. It means number one, they're not satisfied with the first and second purchase. Number two is probably something important. They're buying. You imagine a company is buying something, they buy it a first time, a second time, a third time. Means they really have a problem. So it's up to me to ask. So when I ask, when okay, I asked like, oh, you buy three times. Like, why did you buy three times? The customer actually gave the answer. It's called noise cancellation.
Mhm.
The customer said noise cancellation. Now, but there is two ways to interpret this. Number one is, now my place, let's say if it's noisy, I want to make it so you guys don't hear the noise. That is cancelling from the company point of view. Now let's say I call the customer, the prospect. The prospect is driving or it's beside the road at a very noisy place. Now I want to cancel their noise. Also, it's noise cancellation. So there are two types. One is me cancel, the other is cancel from the customer side.
Mhm.
So which actually are they talking about? So I didn't make the assumption. I actually asked them, like, noise cancellation, there is situation A, situation B. What are you guys talking about? So number one, they told me like, we didn't know you can cancel the other side. So actually they
Mhm.
like, oh, we didn't know this is possible. So I said, okay, now I'm glad I clarified. Because a lot of the times when prospect say something, we assume we know what they mean, but everybody interprets very, very differently. So this is where like we need to really know how to listen. Okay, so they said that I didn't just assume, even though I think 9 out of 10 times I'll probably be correct if I assume it's going to cancel my noise, not from the customer point of view. Okay, but I didn't make the assumption. So I actually asked that. So there was another time where I actually did this. So when they said that, I said, okay, how about this? We have a few different headphones. How about I record it and I send you a test so you can evaluate which do you think sounds better. Okay, actually, the way I say it, I use a closing technique. I said, I'm not sure if this is going to be helpful. I said, I'm not sure if this is going to be helpful, but what, let's say if I can record a few headphones, I send you all the samples, the voice samples in WhatsApp. So you can you can choose which you prefer. Is that helpful? So the customer say, oh, that would be very, very nice. Okay, so if you're going to do something for people, just always ask like, is that important? So actually I could have went one step ahead. I could have say, hey, why is that important? To really, really, why is that helpful? To really, really like tie it down. Okay, so I didn't do that. So when he said that, so the other the other person, the other staff, the other decision maker said, oh, yes, the voice sample is nice, but we would also like to test it because comfort for us is very important.
Mm.
So the second decision maker said comfort is important. And now like, and I looked over, the second decision maker said, because our people are going to wear this for the whole 8 hours a day. So it gets uncomfortable. So sorry, so comfort is very important.
Yeah.
So when you hear this, how are you going to respond?
You will ask why comfort is important.
Oh, I didn't ask that because like you could actually I think you could ask that. What I said was I understand. I can understand because I wear headphones for many hours myself, and it's very uncomfortable when the headphone presses my ear against my spectacles because I wear spectacles.
Yeah. So,
So I immediately, when I say that, I'm telling yes, I understand what discomfortable means. I know how it feels because I had a similar experience. Okay, so I
mm,
didn't say yes. I understand comfort is important for you. That is, when you hear that, it's not like, yeah, I know you understand, but do you really understand me? Do you really, get the pain? So I describe it. I said, yes, I understand that is comfortable. Comfort is a issue because personally I use headphones and my ears hurt when it press between my spectacles and this. And I saw the decision maker, not the head. It's like, yep, exactly. Maybe that's what the staff told them, or maybe the person have the similar experience. I don't know. Okay, so when we get some feedback, it's one thing to say yes, I agree with you, but it's even better to say yes, I've been through a similar situation. When you say that, your prospect feel understood.
mm,
So it's when they say something like, they express some doubt or something they want to solve. It's one thing to say yes, I understand. It's another thing to say, I think I understand. Is it something like this? Then you describe something that you've been through. Is this in a similar situation? Yeah. Feel, felt, found. Yes. So is this something is a similar situation? And they were like, yes, that's the feeling. When you get that, this deal is probably going to close. Because this is a very important thing. And when you have more of this type of these discussions, you have this type of dialogue, we are no longer talking about what model the headphone should be. Is it? As far as the customer is concerned, I don't care. No, I don't care what model you're using, as long as it sounds nice and it's comfortable to wear.
mm.
That is their concern. Because I now the noise cancellation also I did something because I described like I want to cancel specifically there, so they know I get it. They know I get it. Now, what would be better for noise cancellation is I say, yes, I really agree with what you say. It's because when I call into the call center, actually I did mention this, but I didn't mention it in detail. I said when I call into a call center, when my credit card has problems, the call center, the bank is so noisy. It really irritates me. So I said that.
Mm.
So when they say something like, why do you want to buy something? It's like, yes, I experienced this before. I know what you're saying. I get it. Okay. Don't be like an engineer or scientist and say, oh, how much noise? How many decibel? The noise. Oh, okay. More important is people feel that you understand this and you get it why they want to solve this.
Mm.
Okay. So they talk about this and yeah. So that's like the whole summary here of all the deliverables. Okay. That being said, I have other notes. So these are a lot of the things. These are the things they didn't say. This is from my own observation. So when I went into, okay, for the benefit of everybody, I'll just make it uh, larger. Okay, is this easier to read now? Just let me know.
Yeah, but the Zoom is blocking, I think.
How about this?
Ah,
Is it
yeah, sure.
able? Okay,
Right.
just let me know if you can't read this. Okay, so uh, they said they tried to buy some wireless mouse, and they stick with Logitech because it knows it's compatible with Mac.
Hmm.
Okay, this is what they said. Now, when I hear this, what is my interpretation?
They want universal, like one device and can connect all kind of platform, like a OS.
Okay,
Hmm.
that's correct actually. Okay, so what I heard, it's not so much on they want to connect this. What I heard was my emphasis is on the Mac. Now, does a poor or normal person use Mac over in our country? No.
No.
So the fact that they have people who use Mac, some of their staff use Mac, some of their, I mean, people use Mac. What does that tell us?
They are waiting. I think they are big, yeah, high quality clients.
It's not the average is a bit higher already. All right.
Mm.
So I asked them why you bought Logitech. They said buy Logitech because they don't. The specific word was I stick with Logitech wireless mouse because I know it works with Mac. Stick with Logitech means what I heard is they're willing to spend to no need to worry. These are people who don't buy because it's faster. They buy because they don't need to worry. Number one, aesthetics look good. Number two, I buy, I'm willing to pay so that I don't need to worry about stuff. So when people mention stuff like this, you need to be able to pick up. I stick with Logitech because okay.
Hmm.
So yeah, this is kind of obvious. So yep. So this point I picked up is when he drove us back from when our customer drove us back from lunch. He actually treated us to eat lunch. So he described that they are having this and they have a model. How do they get riders? Delivery riders.
Yeah.
Okay, so here it's a Grab. Let's just call it Uber. Uber, the whole world understand. So let's say um, a lot of new companies. How do they get? How do you persuade people who have been delivering for Uber, for Grab, for all these established companies? How do you convince them to switch over here? So what he said is, yeah, we got a lot of riders from this company because they pay for the work done, plus they give basic, they give the insurance, the staff benefits of a normal employee. So actually here you can see this person is actually quite business savvy. They know why most people make decisions. Most people stick with employees, not really about the salary. It's about, I mean, When you approach 40, this will be more, when you are exceeding 40, this will be more of a consideration. People after 40 years old tend to fall sick a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Medical operation or whatever treatment is very costly. So a lot of them are willing to stick to the same job or same company because when they switch to the company, they will keep their medical insurance. They will keep all of this. So this is a major concern for employees. Now, self-employed people, what do they value? They value the freedom, they value the opportunity to earn more money. Freedom as in they want to work at hours that they want to work. Okay, so he took the best of both worlds. Employee mindset people, they want the benefits. We give the benefits, but we also give them the flexibility of the work. So when he described this in the car, I said, it sounds like you have a hybrid model with it's like you have some features of the gig economy and the traditional employment. He said, yes, exactly. And when you get your customer to say that, you know he felt understood.
Mm-hmm.
It's if you people who don't understand when they describe all of this, what they're gonna say, oh, I think that's a good plan. Well, he described it for a few minutes, then I summarize it. Is it like make an effort to summarize what you hear? Okay, all of this is actually listening skill, which is why we say we close with our ears, we don't close with our mouth. We close with our ears. So I summarize it. It sounds like you're using a hybrid model of the gig economy and the traditional employment. It's like, yes, that's it. So we can get your prospect to say that, you know, they felt understood. Okay. I noted the office environment. It's very well renovated. They are using very colorful chairs. Now, if you ask me to design your office, it's going to look a lot black and white.
Yeah.
But you see, they use a lot of colors. It's like a rainbow in the office. I know probably the person who made the decision to authorize this renovation or outlook or whatever have some elements of sapphire if it's not a main sapphire, or they want to attract sapphires to the organizations. So colorful. I see this, I'm like, I was overwhelmed with so many colors. You see, even the background I use is not that colorful, right? It's a bit
Yeah.
on a dull. So that is the thing that I like. This company, we went there, the chairs are so colorful, the deco. So I know these people, they can spend so much on making the office look good. If they tell me we're not willing to spend on computers, I might not believe you see. If that's what they tell me, if actually we are going to sell them computers and they tell me we have no money for computers, actually I'll be very skeptical. Is it really a price thing? You're spending money on this, on this, on this, on this. There's so many nice things there. You cannot spend a bit more on computers and your staff is actually using that for the whole day. I don't believe you. Okay, so these are the mental notes I took. I didn't say anything about all the decoration. This is all just my mental notes. Okay, so they hire system developers in-house. So a lot of companies, if let's say their IT system or something, we like to outsource. We don't like to have all of this in-house, but they hire it in-house. I make it a mental note. Because if you're willing to hire foreigners to do the work in a traditional company, it requires some level of communication skill. Not everybody is willing to do that. So here, what I noted is these people are uh, they probably value having somebody to be able to answer immediately. That's why they have in-house. It's more expensive to hire in-house compared to outsource. Okay, and they have certain level of communication skill to actually hire people from a different country. Okay, so this is during coffee. They say internally when they hire people, they have a 3 to 5 day training, watching the videos, and all of the people who come here have to sit for an exam. Have to sit for an exam, and not everybody pass. Actually, I did ask like how many people pass. So they told me 50 or 70% people pass. So it's like half of the people pass. Okay, so what does this tell me? This tells me these people like to do work efficiently and they have some standards. They don't just hire people and just give them some bare minimum training. Because if you have a certification and the passing rate is not that high, it tells me this company, they have some standards, they have some expectations, uh, they want things to be good. So it's very consistent with my observation. They're willing to spend, they expect good stuff. Okay, the noise cancellation, yes, this is important. That they already confirmed with us, but actually that was my mental note. Okay, so they bought a lot of stuff. Okay, and some of it they buy 1 or 2 units. They didn't make a big purchase, 100 200 units. Okay, so these people are probably, they want to touch and feel the thing before they buy a lot. They are probably not very comfortable, just look at your brochure and place an order online. That is what I got. Okay, now this interpretation I might misinterpret, but these are the things where I'm seeing like how these people make decisions. So if they really request a demo unit from me, I'll actually send them. If they want to do a trial project, now it's very funny. I visited them. So when they introduce me, it's like, oh, this is Jay. He does our internet marketing, Google Ads. He does Google Ads and stuff like that. So it's very funny. The customer actually said, oh my god, we're actually looking for somebody to do this. Actually looking for this. And actually how I found when he introduced me to the marketing director, it's like, this is Jay. It's very funny because we're actually looking for somebody to do the Google Ads, and he did Google Ads for this company. I mean, the company that we are visiting. That's how we found them.
So,
Okay. So I mean that day I didn't talk about Google Ads because we are not there to talk about Google Ads. We're there to talk about their equipment. Okay. So that's a separate conversation. So if let's say they ask me to do a test project, okay, I can use this example. Hey, remember when you buy a headphones, you don't straight away commit there. Now I'm reluctant to straight away commit for an ongoing project. How about we do some demo? And this is where I'll give you guys some strategy. You want to allow your customer, you want to allow your prospect to do a demo, a trial with you, a paid trial. I don't encourage doing free work nowadays. I used to believe I do a free consultation session or whatever. I stopped doing that nowadays. Everything is paid. I'll show you guys how to do that. That's probably the food example. So you want to have a way for people to have an experience. What is it like working with you? You need to know, we are selling copywriting, we're selling digital marketing. Is it a physical thing or is it an abstract thing?
it's very abstract service.
Yeah. You sell a phone, you can send a demo unit, correct? You can send a demo unit, they can go and touch, feel, play with it, then they can form their own opinion. But when we're selling a service, how are we going to give the service for them to touch, feel, and have an opinion? We need to be able to give them a demo. Okay, so this is something we'll talk about. Okay, so the exact words here, I'll send you some voice clips so they can evaluate. This happens to match with the way, let me just move everything up. Okay. Okay. So I'll send them, like this actually happens to match the way they buy. Okay, I'll send you some voice clips so you can evaluate how you can see like how it sounds. Okay, but they did request a demo unit so they can see if it's comfortable. And I said, yeah, actually I understand it's comfortable because when I wear headphones for a long time, actually there's a piece of meat, my ear, there's a piece where it's hardened because of the I wear headphones too much. Okay, so I actually gave this example. Okay, so Now, this is the exam. This is the highlight of the day. We always assume customer know what they want. So when the customer say, I think 5 emails not enough. I need 7. Are they actually talking about they want extra 2 emails, or what are they actually trying to tell us? Okay, hold that answer. So I just tell you the situation here. Customers don't know what they need. Like Stephanie mentioned that when she described the computer, somebody use is very slow. So she said maybe you guys can do something to increase the gigs, the frequency. Now, actually, I can do that. I can do that. I'm an overclocker, but nobody does that, right? You know, it's a bit ridiculous. Like if you let's pretend overclocking doesn't exist, you actually need to send it back to Intel and like ask them, hey, can you increase the frequency? I mean that doesn't make sense. Now what are they saying?
They want speed.
Yeah, they want more performance. So that's what they're saying. So when a customer say, a prospect say, I think 5 emails is not enough. Maybe we need 7. Are they actually talking about the 2 emails, or what are they actually saying?
They need more demo, or they need more example.
Okay. Now maybe I didn't ask it in a in a good way. So when they ask this question also matters. Are they asking this question before you work with them, when you work with them, or after they work with you is different. So my mistake. Same question, different time when they ask is different. If they ask before we work together, what might they mean?
May not really trust you yet.
Okay, that's one. Maybe they say, 5 emails, I'm not sure if I can get what the result I want. Maybe 7 emails can. So maybe they're asking about a safety net. So maybe that's their concern. When they work with you, or let's say after they work with you, it's different. When they work with you, now sometimes it means they are trying to get more from you without paying. That might be the case.
Yeah.
Or let's say you have a discussion with them, you say you want to use flavor A, positioning A, then when you work, oh, actually we found out maybe we can position it, you can use position B, we can use flavor B, we can use design. Let's say three type of design is blue. Now we want to try another few emails in red. So they say maybe we want to have extra 2 email. Maybe it means they want to try different things. So when you work with them is another thing. When they ask after they work with you, oh, good news. Means they like your work, they want more.
Yeah.
Okay, so same question. How they ask, when they ask are very, very different things.
Yeah.
Okay, now but for this, basically they say they want more performance. But if a prospect asks this question, they really are not talking about the 2 emails. Try to hear what people are trying to tell you. So let's say this is on a closing call. You have a work with them before. They say, uh, you tell me 5. Maybe we can try 7. Now, if you have explained to them why 5, it's because day 1 I send a warm up. Day 2 I say let's say this is an email sequence. Somebody just opt in. They are going to receive 5 emails. So day 1 I send this a welcome email. Day 2 I say, hey, day 1 it's, hey, here's the lead magnet. Just now you opt in for this free ebook or the lead magnet. Here's how to get it. Second day, why they should stay, what to expect. Day 3, day 4, and maybe day 3 is to pre-sell or seed what are they going to sell on day 4. Day 4 is the selling. Day 5 the scarcity. Now, if we didn't tell the prospect, hey, this is how we write it, and this is the 5, almost every email copywriter, we use this format. If we didn't mention that, the customer say, hey, maybe we can have 7. So that's like maybe they don't really know what they want. Now, if you already told them we write it 5, but they want 7, then I'll actually ask them in return, like, oh, so where do you see the additional 2 emails? Before, after, in between? Now, this is actually a small red flag. Maybe it's a yellow flag for me. If I explain why I'm doing it a certain way, and they want to go against that, two possibilities. Number one, I did a very bad job explaining. My fault, maybe. But if I'm explaining it to the same to the same way to many different people, maybe it's not me. Okay, if I think I did my part on explaining it, but they still want to give suggestion, it's a yellow flag for I mean it's a yellow flag for me. Now, why is it a yellow flag? Let's say, touch wood, you need to do a brain surgery tomorrow. You need to do a brain surgery tomorrow. Are you going to ask the surgeon? The surgeon tell you we are going to do this 5 step. Are you going to ask the surgeon, hey, I want to add another 2 steps? It's ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
So to me, a prospect who asks me that type of question is, number one, you're trying to be funny. Number two, you think you know more than me. Either way, I'm gonna say, I think we are the best thing. I don't think I can help you. Maybe you go and find somebody else. Here's Fiverr. Go and find somebody there.
Yeah. Actually, I want to share something
Yeah.
like the patient and the doctor. So, fun fact, if
Mm.
let's say one patient
Mhm.
have some disease or cancer
Mhm.
inside the stomach
Mhm.
or the testing, I think,
Mhm.
actually the patient will ask the doctor if possible to remove the excess fat under the skin. So after the surgery, he will look skinnier.
I am totally not aware of that,
Yes,
but
actually have this kind of a patient.
I'm totally unaware of that. Yeah, basically, Amy is one of my friend. I met her very way belong. It's the first product I bought from them, Smart Challenge. Then I got to know her. Then she also joined Copy Academy, then HTC, and then HT Coach. So our most recent contact is I met Amy. She's with another closer. She's helping them out. Uh, not another closer. One of Sifu's Denlock's student, which is I think they're in the Dragon program. Okay, so me and Amy we know each other so far,
Yes,
but it's just we didn't have any projects to work with. Okay,
yeah.
yeah. So basically, when people are saying something, we need to hear what are they actually saying, which ties back very nicely to this image. At the start, we say, if you have a hammer, everything looks like a nail. If you look closely, this is a screw.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes things are not so obvious. But when you have a hammer, you keep looking for things that you can solve. So if all your life you are giving people more RAM or more gigs, you will not be able to hear what people are actually trying to express. And this is after I learned HTC, I think this is one of the number one mistakes all the salesperson make when I go out and buy things. All of them assume that when I say something, I really need the extra thing or whatever it is. Okay, it's a very easy assumption to make, but I think this costs a lot of sales.
Mm.
Okay, so we also interview one of the people working there. Do you own a laptop yourself? The staff say yes. Oh, how does the company laptop compare with the laptop you use? And I hear how they describe it. Okay, so the staff was very polite because the staff is going to say something along the lines of what I have is much better than what I get in the company,
Yeah.
but in a very polite way.
Mhm.
Okay, so if I want to upsell on the spot or whatever, actually I can go and approach the decision maker and say, hey, I notice you guys are using very good quality headphones and this. The renovation, the working place is fantastic. And I know that you're doing this because you want your staff to feel at home. They will say, yeah, actually, we actually spend a lot of money on that. Yeah. Would it be, I mean, I'm not sure if this makes sense or not. Currently, the laptop you're paying us this every month, maybe we spend a little extra, you can get a much better thing. I'm not sure if that's something you're interested with.
Mm.
Yeah. So my client totally missed that.
Mm.
He, in his eyes, oh, everything is good. They don't need to change. I can't upsell them anything. In his mind, this is what is going on. Or there's no opportunity to sell other things. I said, no, I said, congratulations. When the moment I go inside and I see they really spend on the stuff, I'm like, oh, I want to upsell. It's gonna be easy. Okay, so we went to the same place, but because of different filters, different mindset, I see different things. Okay, and how do I know? Actually, I can upsell this customer a lot of things that our company actually don't provide. I can probably upsell them KFC. That's an extreme example. Maybe something related to computer. Why? Because he actually said this. I rather deal with one company that provide everything.
Yeah. Convenient.
Ah, yes, that's the thing. When he said that, I know this person value convenience instead of saving a few cents here and there. Then I know I'm talking to the right person because I'm also like that.
Mm.
Okay, so I wasted opportunity. I said actually, personally, I believe that as well. And this is why when I buy things, I always buy through one person. Actually, I didn't say that, but I was so happy when I hear this. I hear this, I know, oh, we want to upsell him. We can probably upsell him paper. We can probably upsell photostat machine or anything which is computer related. Okay, networking equipment, LCD projectors. We can probably upsell them phone and tablets. Or everything that I mentioned, actually my client do not sell at all.
Mm.
It doesn't sell at all. But I know, like, when you say this, I know I can upsell it if I want to. Okay? Oh. Then during when we're drinking coffee, they actually told us some of the things that they actually buy drones to deliver some stuff. They buy some drones to deliver stuff. And actually they say when you're buying the drone, you need to buy some license. There are some licenses to apply, cost money and stuff like that. So I don't know anything about drone, all right? Okay, you might think I'm a computer person, tech person. I have drones. No, no, I don't have any drones. Okay, so I know how much I know about drones is zero. I know nothing about it. But when I heard they spend 500,000 for drones, now that tells you something. Now, what does this tell you?
Big spender. They really
Actually,
can.
yeah, he just wrote it there.
Yeah. Mm.
So this is like what? 100,000 US dollar on a drone or about that. So a company that can buy many drones, one of it costs 100,000. It's not short on cash.
Mhm.
Company with cash, they are always looking to make the cash work for them. Now, this I have this $1. Should I spend it on marketing? Should I spend it on staff? Should I spend it on inventory? Should I spend it on? They're always looking to make that decision. So for me, if let's say I want to sell them, let's say I want to sell them how to close sales and marketing training. I probably also can say that. Seems like you guys are spending a lot of equipment. How much is a contract worth? I can ask them. Probably the contract is a few million. Then I ask, okay, what's your closing rate? Oh, what happens if the closing rate change from 30% to 33%? I didn't say 30 to 40% or 50%. I say 30 to 33%. Okay, here's a tip. When you want to use improvement for sales or open rate or whatever, assuming the customer already has emails or landing page. If a landing page is converted at 5%, maybe not 5, if the landing page is converting at 2%, when you want to propose an improvement, now just ask the question. If let's say we improve the percentage, the conversion rate from 2% to 2.2, make it a 10%. 10% is very believable for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
If you say 2 to 3% to 2% to 4%, if somebody who is a bit more experienced, they might be skeptical. They're like, I'm not sure if I believe you. A 10% improvement is quite easy to achieve, right? So if you ask them, like, what happens if what will happen if we improve the closing rate from 30% to 33%, then ask them to describe what is the financial impact.
Mm.
Let's say they say, oh, that will mean an additional 3 million a year. Okay, then my next question is, so how much do you think we should spend to get that 3 million? Once
Trend.
again, the number is 10%.
Yeah. 300K.
Okay. Okay. So this type of companies, if you get in contact with this type of companies, don't just sell what you can do. Sell what they want to buy.
Mm.
Okay. And these are not using anything which is very sophisticated. It doesn't require you to read people. Okay. It's just like how am I listening? I'm just sharing to you like how am I listening. So maybe when the next time you meet your prospect, or even when you're doing your work currently with your client, when they are asking you questions, try to really listen like what are they asking. Try to hear that what is the doubt that make you ask this question, and see like, can I really help it?
Mhm.
And if people ask questions that doesn't make sense, a bit here, a bit there, a bit there, that tells me they're confused. They don't know what to do next. It tells me they are overwhelmed. Okay, if the customer asks you, do you think we should do email? What about Facebook ads? What about YouTube? What about LinkedIn? So many different directions. I know this person is confused. Then that is a buying signal for me to sell a strategy session. Then I'll say, would it be nice if we spend 30 minutes to discover where we should focus our time and money, so that you can just focus on one thing that gives you the best result, and we improve that. So then I'll go and sell a strategy session. That's me. Okay.
Mm.
And I really believe all freelancers, all copywriters should be able to sell a strategy session, a consultation session. It makes the work you do worth more. And it's not worth more a bit. Sometimes it's double, triple, 5 times, 10 times. But you need to be able to communicate strategy, uh, fancy word for help the customer see what is important and what to focus on. That's the whole thing about strategy. All right. Help your customer to see where they should focus on. So the thing about selling strategy session is the conclusion of the session might not be, after this we should do Google Ads. Most of the time it's not. The people who look for me, who ask me to do Google Ads, usually I'll say, can we take a look at your business, spend some time to take a look at your business. Now, the reason is because I don't want you to spend a lot of money on something that is the least impactful. Or you can say another way, let's not spend big money on a small problem, or we also don't want to spend small money on a big problem. So which is the big problem? Would it be useful if we identify that? It might be Google Ads, it might not be. And most of the time I'll say it's probably not Google Ads, because there's so many things. How do I know it's Google Ads? The moment you can say this, they know you are not this person. They know you have their best interest at heart. You're not here to sell what you want to sell. You're not here to sell what you do. Just by having this conversation, it makes you look very, very different. Very, very few people do this. And this, I think, is the first step towards charging more for doing the same work. Doing the same work. In some cases, doing less things, doing less work. In some cases, it's doing less work, but you're being paid more. Because very, very few people actually do this. Everybody is there. Hey, I'm an email specialist. Let me sell you more emails.
Mm.
No. Okay. So this is the whole takeaway. And here, I just want to share a short story here. So I'm not that young. I have some back problems. I mean, my foot also sometimes there is some discomfort. I won't use the word pain because it's not pain, but it's discomfort. I think if I don't do anything, I'll have pain 5 years later. But I'm a person who like to do prevent to like I like to prevent stuff.
Yep.
That is me. I like to prevent stuff. I like to solve things before I see the problem, the symptoms. Before the pain is here, I like to avoid it. Okay, that is me. Okay, so I went to this place. It's a shop. They sell. I think I can share. They are a company. Ah, they're a company who sell this.
Mhm.
Okay, they're a company who sell this. So I saw the shop that I went in. Then I like I like to know this and I like to see. Okay, I say I know nothing about this, but maybe you can show me the need or you can do a demo for me. So they asked me to step on thing. They do this diagram. So I look at this diagram. Then I'm like, okay, I can see that okay. When I look at this diagram, and I'll tie it back. I'll tie it to copywriting. I promise. I look at this diagram. I was like, okay, let me interpret it with my own knowledge because the salesperson, the closer, haven't said anything, or the specialist haven't said anything. Okay, so I look at this. I'm like, okay, maybe I'm spending too much energy here. Uh, is that what this is supposed to tell me? Okay, then he drew two lines, one line, two line, and I'm like, okay, now I'm confused. Are you telling me like, my foot is bent or what? Because I don't know how to read this. So he drew two lines and he underlined this part and he makes some X's here. The next thing that he said actually closed me on buying. He said, here, do you have stiff neck, tight shoulders, and does your lower back hurts? I said, exactly. How do you know? He said, yeah, because here. After that, whatever he said doesn't matter. I already bought
Yeah.
$700 just for doing this test, showing me this. Okay, now why I say up to here about because actually what he did after that is not so good. To be honest, it's not so good. Okay, but what is the lesson I took from here? Okay, how about let me hear a lesson that you took from here.
Experience and skills is much more important.
Sorry, experience skill,
Experience and skills.
explaining skills. Actually, he didn't talk that much. He just drew two lines here, and he told me what problem I have without me saying. Actually, I have because I went in. I was quiet. I didn't tell him I have neck problem. I didn't tell him anything. I said I'm here to see what you guys can do.
Hmm.
I didn't say anything, but he's able to tell me you have these three things. He didn't look at my neck or something. He just looked at my foot.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like you go inside a website and then you tell the business owner you have a low quality leads problem, and then they say yes.
exactly. Please do that.
Yeah.
You can look at the website and you say, hey, let from what I can see, are you facing this problem? You're getting a lot of people who come and ask, and a lot of them are not ready to buy. Or for those who are ready to buy, they keep asking for a discount. And they're like, oh, how do you know? I look at your landing page. There are a few things that make them say
Hmm.
that.
Yeah.
Would it be wise to, let's say, I mean, usually I charge for this, but this time I'm willing to do it just to let you see what I can do. How about we arrange a separate session, 30 minutes? We get on a Zoom call. I show you. From Upwork, you text them this. Kind of hard not to get a one-on-one call, all right?
Mhm.
Okay, so I'm not saying go and do all the go and do all the work. Okay, Amy says she needs to go back to work. Okay, Amy, thanks for dropping by. I'm not saying you go and do all the tests or whatever upfront. I mean, I used to do that. I don't encourage it nowadays. Uh, but if you're able to describe the symptoms or what is the pain they're going through before they can describe it for you, then you have their full attention. When you ask them to meet at 10, they will meet at 10. Or in some cases, they'll arrive early. They will not ghost you because you already demonstrated you know your stuff. More importantly, you know exactly what they're going through without them
Mm.
needing to tell you. Very few people can do this.
Yeah.
Very, very few people can do this. Okay. So what I learned from here, Anastasia, maybe you can share what's your takeaway from here.
Like you need to point out the evidence first. You know the problem. I mean, you do your homework, I think, before meeting people. So I mean, let's say for they are asking for interview. So I think we need to know first what is their pain point, and then just deliver it to them.
I think that is very correct. I can give you the script to do that as well. Before we jump on a call, if they want to interview you, before we jump on a call, I would like to know if I can help you. I always do this. I would like to know if I can help you. How about you send me your website? And this is for me, and screenshots of your Google Ad account. You change the second part. Send me your website, and let's say you're writing email, and the most few recent emails, if email is your thing. If you're doing landing page or website or home page, then just ask for the landing page. Before we meet, I would like to know if I can help you. How about you send me this? Let me take a look. You don't take a look during the call, you take a look before the call. Why? Because just in case you take a look at the website, you don't know what's the problem, you can ask other people. Like me, yeah, if I do it live, I can, but just in case, I just want to make this advice applicable for everybody. Okay, so just say, no, yes, I'm very happy. I would be happy to meet you, but before we do that, I'd like to know that this time is well spent. I don't want to waste your time. So maybe you can send me your website. Let me take a look at your website, or send me your ads. Let me take a look at the ads before we jump on the call. Then during the call, can straight away address the symptoms and tell them, okay, what my takeaway was for this is I spend too much time. I spend too much time telling them things they don't know.
Yeah.
Because they actually need some marketing knowledge to appreciate all of this. Okay?
Mm.
Now, do I need any knowledge about all of this to appreciate? He just drew 2 lines and show me this. Do I need this
No.
method? Do I need any knowledge? I need 0.
Yeah.
So what he tell me is, you don't need the knowledge. You when you speak to other people, they have to understand even if they have no knowledge, no experience, no anything. So this is actually not as effective as it could have been. Okay? We want to find a way to communicate so people, number one, feel understood. They know exactly, they know you know their exact problem, what the problem makes them feel. Okay, when you tell them, are you getting a lot of leads that are time wasters, or a lot of spam leads instead of actual buyers? And do you feel when you get on a phone to contact them, most of the time you're wasting your time? I'm not only describing their problem, I'm describing how the problem make them feel. They feel they're wasting their time. And when you try to solve a problem, you look at your ads, you look at your website, but you can't find the problem. Is that accurate? Then I can probably shut up already.
Mm.
So I don't even need to show them my slides. If I can just do all of this. I basically drew 2 lines, highlight this and say, hey, your neck is stiff. Sorry, your neck is stiff, your shoulder is stiff, your lower back has pain. Is that accurate? You basically done that. What you say after that probably don't matter as much.
Yeah.
So I think now we have to go and change our slides. We have to change our pitch deck, we have to change our strategy. When I saw this, I'm like, I was so impressed with this. I want to make this a case study. So actually, I shared this with a client. I shared this with Gerald. It's like, oh my god, this is good. This is so simple, and it's probably not the closer, the salesperson who figure this out. It's probably the company. They figure out their internal process. But I say this is well done.
Yeah.
I think this is well done. So, conclusion. Let's not this. Number one, don't sell, don't focus on what we want. In fact, when we meet any prospects or customers, empty the mind. Don't come in as, oh, I'm an email provider. Let me come as an email provider. Let's see how can we help them. When we don't put our product and service in front of us, we can actually see better. Okay, this is one. Then number two, find a way to make it so easy to understand. They don't need to have any experience, knowledge. They can understand that, okay, this person knows my problem and understand the pain it caused me. You can do that, you will have a very high closing rate. In fact, when you have that, you're not going to use closing rate. You're going to use another word. My rejection rate, I reject my prospect. My reject rate, I need to move it higher. Now I'm saying yes to too many people. Okay, and actually later I'll send you guys a clip. Not everybody who knock on your door, you have to take on as client. You have to say no to a lot of people. Okay, I'll send that clip to you, Anastasia. So I think it's 10 o'clock. Thanks for attending. I'm looking forward to do more of this type of sharing and teaching session, because I think we pretty much cover all the questions that you guys can ask, right?
It's not really.
Oh.
Actually, we have challenge every day, and then the question is improving. Yes, I want to say.
Oh, okay. So,
Yeah.
but anyway, maybe it will be a mixture of, when there's some lessons, I think, some insights, where I experience, I think I share with you guys, and we can have the Q&A session. All right.
Cool.
So before we leave, I'll just let you guys ask if there's any immediate questions you want to ask.
My question is not short. It's
okay.
very long, and then I'm sure the explanation will be long. So I just
I'm
think
trying to see if I can answer in shorter. So maybe you can ask the question. If I know that the explanation is long, then I'll just say maybe I'll record a video for you.
no. Actually, it's more on my career, because I'm thinking, yeah,
Okay.
it's on my career.
Then
Yeah.
maybe that will be separate, because if it's career, then it's very specific advice. I don't think it can be done
Yeah.
shortly. All right. So Anastasia, I think you have questions? No. Okay. That's all for this session. Thanks for attending. We'll see you guys next week.
Yeah. Thank you for your advice. See you next week.